Whoops, had the wrong screen up there. The stream has ended. Thanks for watching. Bye. Afternoon, everyone. Put the wrong screen up. Sorry, I am here. I haven't finished. Although I'm about finished with this DAX. Oh, this better be a bear flag. Not a 20 bounce. Got in quite big on this one. It's just tapped me into my third. I'm getting ready to escape. Not had much luck this morning. Although I've got a lovely NAS short for 20 lots running on my other account. So I'm praying for this to break the lows, because if this breaks the lows, the NAS will probably go with it. But it's a little bit stuck at the minute. Just need it to crack there. Afternoon, the Armand. Yes, positive mindset, profitable afternoon. Afternoon, Bruno, Fanor, Peter. Got some movement. Don't put in a bloody hammer. Ugh. Double bottom. Tricky. Come on, Naz. Just pop somewhere down. So if you can just pop somewhere down there, that'd be lovely. That'll be my evaluation done, and then I can just sit there and put a 0.01 in the market for the next 4 days. Yeah, some decent movement this morning on these pounds. We had a decent rally on the pound. It's not convincing, but it is moving in the right direction. So we got that potential spring move, which is a lovely W. What's going on with my MT4? It's not updating properly. Yeah, so we've got a lovely W. Got the reversal alert, pulled up. We are still back in this range. So what we're looking for this afternoon on pound odd and pound New Zealand is both the same thing, basically. Is a push up to these highs. If we can get up to these highs and start an accumulation up at these highs, that would be spot on for a wick off spring higher, which would be very, very, very nice. So if you're in it, it's a good chance. You can see obviously we've got reversal alert after reversal alert at the moment. We're just literally sideways accumulating. We have done now for 3 full sessions. So this thing's ready to pop one way or the other. Afternoon, Trevor. Aseni. Don't do that. NAS is coming down, but we seem to be pulling back a little bit on this one. Just going to keep an eye on that because I've got 3 positions on it. I don't want to get into too much drawdown on that. So DAX, we had that triangle break this morning. I was watching this morning after I went offline. We pulled back down into here. I had this triangle drawn on, this trend line. We drew down into there and we put a bullish engulfing in, and I was like, I almost exited the position there and just took, I think it was about 0.2 or something, or 0.3 I had on. And I thought, nah. And then literally, I took the dog for a walk, came back, and that had happened. And I got stopped out for 0.5%. So, yeah, tough. So I'm going to get it back this afternoon. Hopefully before the open. If this can collapse down to here before the open, that'd be absolutely beautiful. Just like the NAS is doing. NAS is just hitting the 50. Oh, I haven't got moving averages on here, but let me stick it on the other chart. So NAS is just tapping into the 50 at the minute. I've got quite a big short on there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take half of that off and just cover the rest. Or should I take the whole lot off? Yeah, I'm going to take the whole lot off. I've just closed it out. I just had a short on that. I just closed it out. Don't like this 50 bounce. And I also don't like the fact that we're accumulating here. I'm hoping this is a flag short, but if it's not, I just want to be out and flat. so I can concentrate. Done $630 this morning. I'm 20% of the way to target. Day one. Closing that. This is a 20 bounce by the looks of things. Afternoon, Harry. Traded NAS earlier. Took R2 200 from me. Calling it a day. What's that? Ruples. I've no idea how much that is. Yeah, difficult morning this morning on the indices. So DAX so far, we'll have a look at these first. There's no news today, so we've got no news to look at. DAX so far, we've pushed up, so we're flagging still. If you look at this on hourly, so this was the move down we had on Thursday. Wednesday. We got the reversal alert. Again, this is exactly what we've just looked at on GA. Yeah. So we had the push. Yeah. Put in a high. We pulled back. We've put in an accumulation. We've put a spring in. And now we're looking for basically the low of that accumulation to form an accumulation and drop. I'm also looking for the gap fill still. But we have literally gone sideways for over a week now here. So it seems ready to pop one way or the other. But this is just a pullback at the moment, potentially on Wednesday's move still. So we're 50, 60, 18, which is why I'm short. This is why I got short up here, but we haven't gone anywhere, and it's pre-market, so I don't really want to hold this because it's quite possibly could do that, and I just don't want to be stuck in it just in case. So, but yeah, so that's the DAX. The US indices, we had big strong days yesterday, up days again. We're getting very close to calling this bear market over, and it's too early. I just think it's too early. About $13, that's all right. Not too bad, Harry. Not mortgage money. Well, it depends how much your mortgage is. So we're bear market, and we have now put in potential ball structure. So I thought this was it. After this 5-day, 6-day push, I thought this was the start, but it's not. It's come back up again. So looking at levels on the US indices as to where we're potentially going, it's difficult to pick a recent low as a resistance. It's going to be somewhere up there. But at the moment, we've obviously broken that high, which is the one I didn't want to break, to confirm that the bear market is still going. But we got that level there. And obviously we got that high there. So these are the most recent highs we've put in as potentials. They're both within sort of ADR to 150 ADR, but we're not hitting ADRs at the minute very much at all. So looking for potential moves up there. S&P, we got, it's not quite a bullish engulfing because it's actually, the body is actually smaller. It's just obviously we had a bit of a gap. So we put in a double bottom there, and basically if you look at this it's easier on a lower time frame. We're pretty much triple topped. Let me just draw it on the daily. Yeah, so that level there, we've broken out above it now. But that is the level, the previous level, which we've just broken above. So again, somewhere around there is our highs. We've got two levels very, very close to each other there. So potentially a push up on the S&P there today. And the Dow, we've got plenty of room. We're not going to make it anywhere near there today. The Dow's got slightly different structure. But again, market structure now, bullish. either way, I think we need another leg down. But I'm still thinking short on these indices. This bear market, they were anticipating being quite a bad drop, way worse than this. But obviously we've had things like wars starting halfway between this bear market. So it's difficult to know what this thing's up to at the moment. So kind of playing short term at the minute. S&P and everything kind of looking longs at the moment, really, based on yesterday's price action. And DAX, I'm still trying to play this short, but don't know. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Bit of a confusion on the indices at the minute. I think we just got to really look at intraday moves and try and make some sense of that. Just exited GA position. We'll re-enter if it starts moving up again. You should be holding that one. Depending obviously where you got in. But yeah. If this is a spring, this is just a pullback on the spring. So you want to get in. Best thing to do here is buy stop above that high. So we're coming into this propulsion gap after the accumulation. So this is the propulsion move after the accumulation. This is where the buyers are going to be stepping in. If it's going to happen, this is where they're going to be stepping in here. Stop under the lows. What I would do is have a buy stop up there above that high. Have a buy stop there and stops under there. So assume that this is going to happen. Yeah, get in when we break above there, get in when we break above there, 2 big positions, and go for it. Stop under there. Nothing you can do at the minute with these pounds, with these Aussies. But the Aussie dollars, Aussie dollar, US dollar is pushing up again at the moment. It's had a fairly good morning. So this is just kind of movement based on Aussie dollar. If you look at all the other pounds, did I leave that buy stop in place? Yes, did. If you look at all the other pounds, the pound's not doing bad. It's the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar. Again, the same culprits causing this mess we're in at the minute. Trevor, I've been looking at MT4. Feels way smoother than MT5 on my machine. Seriously considering moving over. Yeah, it is. That's why I don't use MT5 and why 95% of the purchases of my indicators that are on MT5. I hardly sell anything on MT4 rather. I hardly sell anything on MT5, which is why I don't bother developing for it a lot. I do because people ask for it, and then I put an indicator up on MT5 and then nobody buys it. And I'm like, why did I bother? MT5 looks lovely and the strategy test is better. But as a platform, it's glitchy as hell. And it's got auto update, which is such a nightmare. They push out auto updates for it, break stuff, and then go, oh, we'll release a bug fix for that. And you don't get anything for a month. So you end up with a piece of software that doesn't work for a month. MT4 is what it is. Static. It just works. And it's not resource hungry. That's why I haven't developed the symmetrical triangle pattern dashboard for MT5. I tried it, couldn't handle it. Just can't do it physically. You cannot handle the calculations I need to make. MT4 had no problem whatsoever. So yeah. They made MT5, if you look in the strategy tester, they made MT5 to run on multiple CPU cores. So what they did was they built it to run on multiple CPU cores, realized that they could actually charge you for using all those CPU cores. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We won't let you use your own CPU cores. We'll let you rent other people's CPU cores. So they charge you to do strategy testing on multiple CPU cores with a system that could quite easily do it on the 12 CPUs I've got. But nah, I'm only allowed to use one. Rant over. That's why I don't use MT5. And the fact that 99% of the indicators you find on the internet are MT4. Just keep on MT4. It might be 12, 15 years old, but it works. It ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's why I use it. Anyway, and but don't believe the hype you hear about, they're going to be phasing out MT4. No, they're not. 95% of their revenue is generated by MT4 licenses. They're not phasing that out. If they phased out MT4, they'd go bankrupt. They're not doing it. Don't worry. So if someone tells you that, just slap them in the face, walk away. Virtually, obviously. I'm not condoning violence. NAS is coming down. It's just broken the 50. Right, so where we are, ADRs, nothing changed. CAD-yen, hit ADR. It's an ADR low hit, CAD-yen. And it's pushing back up again. So we got this double bottom bounce this morning. So we got the ADR hit. It bounced nicely. Came back down, double bottomed. I'm praying it's going to double top and then drop. It all started moving. Same with the US dollar yen. Nice bounce. So all these yens this morning, we've had that very, very, very nice move down. Aussie dollar is pushing back up. We've got the reversal alert. So at least we've got a structure break in place now. CAD yen, obviously that was a tiny little one this morning, which broke nicely. But we've now got potential W forming. So looking for that 61.8 retracement that we thought was a second leg down, it's not. So weakened again this morning. But we've got reversal alerts in place, and at the moment they're holding. So especially with the euro. But again, if you look at this one, the euro is tapped straight into resistance, support. Rejected. It's just, the yen, it starts to run and then it's like it trips over its shoelaces. It can't handle it. But we have got some market structures starting to show. So this afternoon's going to be a real tell for the yen, I think. If New York continue, Asia and London, I think we'll be off with the yen, but we'll see. So those are the only two ADRs we've got. Nothing else hit on ADR today. 4 hours, it's all the same as this morning. We've got 10 minutes to the open. It's all the same as this morning. New Zealand dollar yen. We still extended nicely. Same as Aussie dollar yen. It's the same thing. Aussie dollar US dollar. Nicely extended. We've got that beautiful bearish engulfing. We're just doing a little pullback in there at the minute, but that's still nicely extended. Looks like it's starting to roll. And Swiss yen. And obviously Euro odd. So Euro odd, Euro Swiss. None of these Euros, don't want to be taking any longs. Euro yen short is the only one I'll be looking at there. So Swiss yen, again, very nice rollover. And we're pulling back. So these are all forming lower time frames. It's starting, but it's the same with these. The pound New Zealand, the pound New Zealand and the pound odd. God, I wish I hadn't got out of that NAS. Collapsing. Never mind. They're all starting, but it's it's like the car analogy. It's turning over, the engine's turning over, it just can't quite get started. But there you go, look, the arm on. It's bouncing. So see how we get, if you're not in it, pending, flying out the top. Just got to think ahead. What is in my ideal scenario right now? What's going to happen? It's going to this afternoon in the New York session. It's going to push up to there and accumulate. Monday, it's going to do that. Yeah, plan for that, and don't get out of it when it does that. That's all you can do with those. Hard, but. This morning's question by Diamond regarding your discretionary trading was excellent. clapping hands. Live room never fails to educate. Cool. I got pulled in as it looks so pretty. Which one? I don't know what I was talking about when you said that. RSIs are flat on the hourly. Again, same as this morning. Moves have all started and either gone where we want them to or just pulled back in. So it's amazing. The pound odd has just kind of, we look beautiful this morning, and we're actually down on the session. Canadian dollars just flown for some reason. Really, really strong CAD at the minute. Not sure why. Oh, brilliant. That's going to really help the CAD yen. Oh, my God. Well, there goes the double top then. So the only hope we've got on this CAD yen now is for this accumulation drop, which is going to time nicely with the New York Open. So we'll see. So that's it on the H4s. Obviously, everything that's really extended at the moment is still yen based, but Kuroda even is trying very, very hard to sort of bolster the market on the yen. So fingers crossed they'll step in and they'll just give us a little bit more bullish information and try and bolster the currency. Basically, they really need to do something about it. So other than that, this morning, no other news. We had a few Chinese news items this morning, mainly to do with buying Russian gas and oil and stuff. But apart from that, there wasn't a massive amount of news this morning. It was all pretty quiet on the news front. So this afternoon, we've got University of Michigan sentiment. That's it at 2 o'clock. We got Williams also speaking at 2 o'clock from the Fed. We had Yellen earlier, but nothing else is happening. So that's it. All quiet this afternoon. So we should see just normal price action unfolding. God damn, why did I get out of that? Never mind. Hate getting out of things when they collapse. Anyway, I'm happy with that. $600 today. Right. So today, what should I trade today? And first one triggered, eh? Good. Pound odd. Jesus. US dollar yen off. Just watching my other monitor. What is going on with this yen? Hopefully this is just pre-market. Stop hunting. There's nothing coming through to do with the yen at all, anywhere. So hopefully this is just all pre-market movement. They're trying to reach levels with the yen and then reverse it. But I can't see any reason why the yen's just suddenly screamed off for the last 10 minutes, apart from trying to take liquidity. And if so, it needs to do a little bit more. Hasn't quite got there. ADR on US dollar yen now. Oh, we had ADR on the other side. So we've done, basically today on the US dollar yen, look, we've done a double ADR hit. So we've moved down an ADR. We moved down 125 ADR. Now we've moved one ADR in the opposite direction already. Huge volatility on that today. What the hell's going on with this market? Right, we've got 3 minutes to the open. A lot of pre-market action going on. DAX is coming down. Dow's coming down. Going short one on the DAX. Nasdaq's falling out of bed completely. Russian Defense Ministry just announced it's going to continue its special operations until it reaches its targets. The Kajin gap just got just a gap fill liquidity. Possibly. Hasn't quite done it, but this is where we'd expect to see the selling start on all of these, really. It's a bit of a risky trade that ahead of the open, but we'll see. I like it short after that move anyway, and that's a pullback. So if it does spike up at the open, I'd be willing to take a risk on a short on that. I've got a fairly decent stop on it anyway. On M5, it's not got there. No, it's just, I mean, it's just a load of money coming into the end. I'm not quite sure why though. I was just hunting for news. The only news we just had is that Russia's just said it's going to continue its special operations, which we kind of. No, he's not just going to turn around and go, actually, that was fun, I'm going to stop now. Sorry about that. Gold's taking a bit of a hammering. Yeah, we just got a load of US dollar. There's just a massive movement just came in the market just before open for some reason. So it's just a load of orders being dumped for some reason. So I'm just watching this area to see if we can get a breakdown below this at the open within the first sort of 10 minutes or so. Reverse alert on the NAS now, so again, just no real direction. US dollar yen's just put a hammer in, a shooting star, and starting to roll over a little bit. NAS is off to the upside. Dow's off to the downside. It's all over the place, this thing at the minute. It really is. Wait for the first 5 minutes to go in and then see what we get after that. US dollar CAD's coming down quite hard. Looks like there's Canadian dollar money coming in. Euro US dollar's pushing. Pound is pushing up at the open as well. DAX coming down now. Nice strong pound, basically. A minute. Decent euro strength as well. Nothing much going on with the Aussies. Okay, so opening range is 270. Not too bad. Got 450-ish on the Dow. Short one more on the DAX. What? Fed swaps are pricing in over 200 points of more raises. That was just news just came out there. Dow is thinking about rejecting at these highs. Nasdaq is still on its way down, falling out of bed completely. Everything looks heavy. Everything looks heavy this afternoon. It's just all, everything just seems to be falling out of bed. Still got another week left. Where are we? March, aren't we? This is quarter end as well. So we got month end and quarter end next week. We'll see a lot of volatility next week. A lot of repositioning and closing out long positions. Maybe next week is when we're going to start the move. Maybe we should listen to BBC Tokyo and find out what's what. Is there a BBC Tokyo? Guess there must be. I wouldn't understand a word they're saying though, that's the trouble. Opening range highs getting rejected on the Dow at the minute, but obviously we've still got 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes left on this candle, so We'll see if we reject these highs. So basically just double topped. God, this is the longest 5 minutes of my life. I'm getting ready to get into the Dow, and I'm like, why is this taking so long, this candle? It's going to be gone without me in a minute. Okay, so we're just reaching down into resistance now on the DAX. Let me just take that fib off. I've done the retracement. So this is the 50 to 61.8 retracement on Wednesday's move. So I'm looking at this area now as support resistance, which we just screamed through, which is a good sign. So now we've got this trend line break potentially, but I don't really do trend lines. I'm going to leave that one in place actually because that's pretty strong. So we'll see what happens when we get down there. That's where my TP is anyway. EU just signed a deal. Yeah. That was this morning. They were talking about that EU deal with the US for gas. They were shipping it over as liquid. Russia negotiator at talks with Ukraine. The two sides have come closer together on secondary issues, but they're not really moving forward on the key ones. Bad news for war. Short one more. I'm just going to play the DAX this afternoon. There's no point in me getting into the Dow because these are going to do the same thing, and I'm in the DAX, so I'm just going to stay on the DAX. But the Dow obviously should come down as well. Nasdaq's just reaching for rather low of the London session, the Frankfurt session, which is this double bottom here. Okay, back break even on the DAX. So this whole area of support here is where we've just tapped into. So if you're looking on the higher time frame, obviously That's a pullback on that move. Whereas you look on, if you've got a bearish view, we'll pull back on that move. So whether you're bullish or bearish will decide what you do at this support resistance level. I'm bearish at the minute, so hence being short. Solomon Island just did a deal with China. Possible base to build. I don't even know where that is. Off of Australia or something, is it? I don't know. See a gap fill on CAD yen at the 97,600, fading it. Is this a proper play or too risky? Yeah, I mean, obviously got to have a short bias on all these yens at the moment because they are starting to move. But yeah, that's a good place to start shorting it from. It's basically a retest of the reversal alert. We haven't come up and retested this yet, so this is the retest. If we're going bearish, this is where we're going bearish from. So yeah, east of Papua New Guinea, is it? Yeah, that's it's a good spot. They're all these these yen pushes that we just had. They're all putting in lower highs at the moment. So again, it's just such, and again, double tops, rejections. It's such a critical session, this New York session for the yen. We need to see them at least hold it in an accumulation with London, not push it higher. And it's all about, we need it accumulating or we need it dropping. We need to see some signs of strength, because then next week it gives you the confidence to go into non-farm payroll short on it. And end of month and end of quarter. So yeah, China do seem to be throwing their toys out the pram over a lot of stuff as well, don't they, at the moment? Along with Russia. Are we going to get one of those horrible V-shaped recoveries again? I should have just taken that percent down there. I'm getting greedy because I got 0.5% to make up from yesterday, and I got 0.5% to make up from this morning. I'm getting greedy. Should have taken that and then waited for a pullback entry rather than trying to add down there. I was looking for a Wednesday. I'm looking for a Wednesday. We're not getting it. Jesus, look at the Dow. Franco's got green on his positions. Everybody give a woohoo. Bank it. Don't do what I just did. I've still got a good conviction short. That's I'm still holding it. That's what your account's there for. Drawdown. If you don't have drawdown, you don't have risk. If you don't have risk, you can't make money. NAS is pulling back nicely. US dollar CAD's coming down hard still. Euro US dollar's pushing. Probably getting a good push on the pounds. Oh, God, what the hell is that up to? CAD is strong. Pound's just having a bit of a week. Week 10 or 15 minutes. This is going to stop out. So looking for this retest basically on this opening range low here, which is basically just a pullback play. But same as this morning, we had the open, we had a complete V-shaped recovery. Then we went short from there, and then we spiked up. It just chopped all over the place, and we didn't get any decent movement. Going to stop out on it at 1%. Just stop exactly on those wicks. And reverse from there, please. Thank you. Do as you're told. Got 20 seconds left. Looking for the Dow to pull back down as well within the opening range. I don't really have a scalping template. Proster. It's literally a 50 and a 20 moving average. That's it. There isn't. It's not a template. It's just a 20 and a 50. And obviously the gap indicator if you want it, which is quite useful for ignoring things like that when you should be taking profit. Anyway, yeah, that's all it is. 20 EMA and 50 EMA. That's all I use. Just for directional bias. God. The Russians have just said to everybody, if you don't buy our gas in rubles, it could lead to a crisis and bankruptcy for multiple countries. Not really in a negotiating stance, are they? Do as we say, or we'll bankrupt you. God. Okay, pound dollar is retesting that low, previous low. Still decent strength on the CAD. Gold's bouncing back, although that's pulling up lovely into resistance and rejecting for short. Got uncomfortably close to your stop loss below the lows. It seems to be pulling up now. Yes. Still hold it as long as we can hold in this area. You know, as long as New York. Same with the yens. As long as New York holds it, it's a good, strong, long accumulation ready for a move. And it's moved so far in one direction. You have to say, when they're doing an accumulation now, they're going to want to do some profit take moves on these big, strong moves we've had for the last few weeks. It's got to stop somewhere. And 90% of reversals start with an accumulation. So when you go into a long accumulation, it's a good sign of a reversal building. So it's all positive, but we've had a few promises of it before, but this is the longest one we've had. If we can keep this accumulation for the entire New York session, that's 4 sessions, 1.5 days moving in one direction sideways. So it's good. Nas is rolling over on pullback. Trying to, anyway. What's the Dow up to? Dow's still pushing. Got 4 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. It's always worth watching the other time frames just above where you are, because obviously we're trading price action on the low time frame here, but you know, anybody trading a higher time frame at the moment, all they're seeing is a whacking great bearish engulfing and a hammer following the bearish engulfing, which is going to entice people to put sell stops in the market, ready to get in. And obviously, when they trigger, if it pushes down through them, we'll just get an acceleration. It's always worth having a look at the next time frame up, just so you can see the slightly bigger picture. Really need the Dow to start rejecting these highs a little bit stronger as well. I can hang up on the suicide hotline now. Been on hold for hours. Yeah. Must be a market crash. They're busy. Nas just made new lows. That's good news. Need Nas to break 14,700. Big psychological level coming up. First entry back in profit at least. Oh, on the pound. What? Yeah, that's a lovely rejection. Very nice. There you go. There's your retest. So what we're looking for now is a rejection and accumulation up at these highs. If I mean, what screen through it for all I care, but if we get a bounce off of it, don't get scared. It's either going to be that or it's just going to accumulate and go, hopefully. The Aussie dollar's coming down quite hard against the US dollar as well. So this is a sign of the US Aussie dollar weakness, which is good. But we keep getting it, don't we? It's just so choppy, isn't it? At the moment, the whole thing's just so choppy. It's a range trader's dream at the moment. But you don't know you're in a range until you're in a range, and by the time you're in the range, it's breaking out and you've lost your range. So it's very hard to trade ranges. But at the moment, we're in it. What I want is a trend on the indices, though. Why have we stopped? What the hell? We just market just froze there and gapped up. Did it on my other account as well. That's weird. Second entry just triggered. Cool. Aseni, is there a way to adjust the height of the trading button? No. Why do you want to adjust the height of it? It's too difficult because this is if you adjust the height of it, it'll make the button wider or smaller, but it won't reposition the button. So there's no point in me giving control for button sizing because it will just have more space between the buttons, or the buttons will just crash into each other. You don't really need to. They're just nicely out the way there. That's why I put them there. Doesn't interfere with anything chart wise. And obviously got plenty of room. Even with a smaller chart. Come on, don't hold this level. Nasdaq just made new lows again. So US markets are very heavy. Just looking for the potential pop out the bottom of the Nas. I want to see a decent pop out the bottom of that when we get there. Scream through it would be very nice. Euro US dollars pushing up. Andy, sometimes if there are lots of alerts coming through on MT4 due to the end of a period on MT4 can appear to lock up briefly. Yeah. Yeah, that might have been. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what that was. That was my dash. Yeah, but it happened on my other platform as well, on the my Forex Funds MT4, which has got no dashboards on it. It's got nothing. It's just a bare install of MT4. So unless it was Windows, I'd be very surprised if it's Windows. This is a 12-core, brand new 12-core i7 processor machine, 1 day old. If it's locking up already, I'm going to be very disappointed. It shouldn't be. See the size of this thing? It's twice, the box is twice the size of my old machine. Because it's got the new RTX 3070 graphics card in. That thing is as big as a laptop, basically. NAS testing the lows. We're getting a lot of buyers stepping in. Hasn't managed to pop that. You're off, Franco. Have a good weekend. Closing that. I'm not happy with that. There. He caught me out this morning doing this, and I don't want to get caught out again. And I don't like the fact that the NAS is really, all the sellers are being completely absorbed by buying pressure here. So if there's a load of stock buying happening on the NAS, we'll see that filter through into all the indices. A lot of buying. And the Dow's obviously just being supported off the 2050. Might regret that one, but I have got the short running on my other platform as well. But I'm going to leave that one running because that's at break even. There's only one position on it. I want to see this get through there. What broker do I use? I use lots of brokers. This is Robo Forex. I use Axie, and I'm also using Traders Global Group at the moment. But that's only because I'm forced to by my Forex funds. Okay, thinking of going short on the Dow. I'm putting a sell stop in to go short on the Dow. I'm giving it a bit of a wider stop. Just going to reduce the risk down on it. And I'll add in with slightly larger position sizing, but I like the fact at the minute we're not breaking these highs. I don't like the fact that the Nasdaq hasn't managed to get that double bottom broken. But I think if the Nas does on the next leg get through there, it's going to come down pretty hard and fast. So looking for another leg pull up on the Nas, and then it's basically taking a run up and try and smash through that level. If it gets through that level, the Dow's going to come down pretty hard. So I'm just setting some positions up to short. I was going to get straight in, glad I didn't. Also glad I got out of that DAX. Pound odds going nicely. Kajen's come off of the double top. Sorry, not double top. What's that? That's an old fib. Get rid of that. So that gap fill now is complete. Virtually to the pip. Just about to get a reversal alert. So hopefully next leg down on the yen. Okay, double top on the Dow. Didn't hold. Cancelling that pending order off. Nasdaq's not flying anywhere near as much as the Dow is and the DAX. Dow's done nothing. Is now. So we got to break out to the highs. It's another tricky market today. It just seems tricky all the time at the minute. It's really tough to get a directional bias on anything here. I mean, this is the accumulation from Wednesday now. We've basically put a V-shaped recovery in on the Dow. So anywhere up here, really. So this high held multiple times, exactly where we are now. So it's a very strong 34,860-ish. Failing that, 100% reversal on the Dow. Let's see what it does here. Like your little man, Diamond. Can you share the presets for the price action tool? I don't really have any presets. I mean, because you need to set it up for whatever you want to, for the instrument you're trading. But I use 400 and 800 on indices. Time frames is going to be dependent on your broker, but these are for me at the moment, but these will change on Sunday. So that will change back to, again, next week. Obviously, we're going back to 2:30 for the live room, or 2 o'clock for the live room, because clock's changed in the UK. So those will go forward an hour. Apart from that, I just have the opening ranges on. I would go, and all the candlestick patterns I have on. But I would go and play with it, really. Pending and stop loss, I have 10 points. No risk 0.5% for each entry. But I think this is pretty much default. Anyway. It's just default doesn't have the opening ranges set to true. I'm tempted to take a Dow short up here. Are we going to break out the highs? I got a feeling we're going to stay within this range. It's a Friday. We don't have big days on Fridays. I think we're going to stay in this range. I think we're approaching the highs here. "17 seconds. Yeah, so these settings as well, this will be different. I've got another broker that instead of being 400 on the indices, it needs to be 40 on the indices. So that is set to 1 instead of 10. Yeah, so you'll have to set everything. Distance between entries would be 10 if you're using scaling in. Trailing stops would be 20 and 40. So you really need to look at them and literally, you know, let's say, for example, I'm getting in short here under this candle. Just click and drag with the cursor and look at what the distance is. Yeah, so that is 400. Yeah, on your broker, 400 might be way off the top of the chart, and that'll be 40. And obviously, if you were to put this onto an FX pair, you'll get a completely different, you'll need a completely different setting. So on an FX pair, let me just, yeah, look, that's 50, so that's 100. So if I went 400, I'm going to be like, my stop's going to be up here somewhere. ADR is 95. The ADR on the Dow is, on the DAX, is 350. So it's a big difference. So it needs to be adjusted for the instrument that you're putting it on as well. Pound odds just done a little pullback, tempting new highs. DAX is rejecting nicely as well. Nasdaq's dropping. I'm going short right now, and I've got these additional positions to scale in on. I'm looking at this zone here being higher day, which is kind of a double top on Wednesday, assuming that we're just going to pull back into a rotation today. So obviously that entry there, the stop loss is way up there. So if I'm wrong, obviously it's going to need to break out above Wednesday's high quite considerably to take me out. Of course, this may well just trend up today and just take Wednesday out and keep going. In which case, I would have to say that bull market is done. Bear market, rather. If we're just going to keep pushing up. Lovely rejection on the DAX. CAD yen's coming down nicely. Nice rejection on the CAD, the yen rather, up there. All the other yens are starting to come down, just about to get an alert on the Aussie yen. Swiss yen just about getting an alert on. Pound's not quite. We've got a very strong pound at the moment by those things. This movement on the pound. Strong US dollar. Which means gold is probably coming down. Oh no, it's not. Pushing up. Strong gold as well. Ah, oh, Nasdaq, don't do this down here. Triple bottom on the Nas. Which doesn't bode well for the Dow. Screaming through the highs. Okay, so I'm looking for rejection here. So we've broken basically Wednesday's high. So this is high of the week. We're putting in now new weekly highs. Jesus, these things are not stopping, are they? Let's see if we get rejection up here. There's going to be a lot of orders sitting up here. A lot of stop orders from Wednesday, and there will also be a lot of limit orders up there for people trying to play a double top. So it's how many limit and stop orders we've got up there will decide which way this goes. But a lot of the limit orders up there will be big limit orders playing a double top on the weekly. So we could find this comes screaming down from here. Big strong push up there though. But if we can get, that sort of fade off of it, I'll be happy with that. Nas has really rejected those lows. Oh, Mother's Day. Mother's Day on Sunday. People in the UK, don't forget. Wow. New highs. Getting a fair bit of rejection on the DAX still. Dow's just off, gone. That's not going short. Just going long on the Nas on my other platform. Because if the Dow's screaming off to those highs, I'm pretty confident that is a double bottom on the Nas that is going to hold. We should be pushing back up to retest today's highs on the Nas. So I've just gone long on the Nas at 174.48. There. Why is that black? That was red the other day. I don't want to chase it long up there, but we have broken out. So where's this going? Got double top potential there. There is a level here which has been respected multiple times, which we're at right now. This is the 3,500 psychological level. So I suspect we're going to hit that today. So I'm going to hold the NAS until we hit that on the Dow, which will be 14,800 level roughly on the Nasdaq. Which again is another psychological. 80s and 20s are very well respected on indices because they're just before round numbers. I don't know why. There's a logic behind the algorithms on the 80-20s, but they are very well respected. There's obviously some reason, mathematical reason why they do that, but not sure what it is. I'm just reducing my risk to just below that wick, assuming that we're going to retest. Probably want a bit of a pullback to get there. Little accumulation on the pound odd at the moment. Pound New Zealand's doing even better, look. It's hardly got any pullback on the Pound New Zealand. That's screaming. Really good move there. That's really bodes well for the pound odd. A little pause on the CAD yen. Okay, so I'm going for 50 points here, basically, on the NAS. Up to 14.8. Probably going to come up to the top, but I could really do with another $500 today, so that'll get me a nice little buffer for Monday. If I can get, that'll be 1,100 bank today, so I've only got 2.5k target, so it'd be nice to be virtually halfway there on Monday. I don't want to get greedy. So I'm down 0.2% again today, on this account anyway. A very tough week on this account. The other one was absolutely storming. Never mind. Scanning the news. We got Williams talking at the moment. In fact, I think he may have just finished. Williams, overall, the financial markets have modified expectations with little disruption. I wouldn't say there was a little disruption. I would say there's a massive disruption. Forex markets are all over the place. Indices have turned completely the opposite direction to what they were going in. How can you possibly say there's been little disruption? He's still talking because the news is still coming in. Fed are on track to start balance sheet roll off this year. Yeah, blah blah blah. Both starts. Yeah, nothing exciting. Global issues, global complications. The Western countries are considering new sanctions against Russia, limiting their access to gold as well. That'll pay off the Russians because they like a bit of gold. Stockpiles of the stuff. My entry basically is acting as support at the minute, which I hate. Stopping out down there. I'm just hovering over the cancel button on this NAS trade. Just struggling to get a little bit of momentum here. I'm just watching the Dow alongside the DAX alongside it, and flicking over towards the Dow as well. It's all feeling a little bit bearish. I'm just watching every time we're pushing up, we're getting absorbed. The sellers are stomping on every buy order that's going into the market at the moment. So I'm just getting ready to just jump out of it with like $50 loss or something if we just dip below this wick again. I don't want to take a full loss on it. There's a lot of buyer absorption going on. Trying to reassure investors. Yeah, I think it's trying to rally the stock market. Fed. They always are. Just got some red news coming in. If it's appropriate to raise by 50 points at a meeting, I would do that. We know that. You've already said that. And if you do that, that's going to be one hell of a day. If you say you're going to raise it by 0.25 and you actually do it by 0.5, the market's going to go mental. So we're on the right side of it when it does. Oh God. This is painful. I'm hovering on this close button over on my other platform on this trade. It's really struggling. There we go. It's starting to move now. Still got a minute left. US dollar's coming down really hard against the CAD. Pound is flying against the US dollar. The US dollar didn't like that, what Williams just said. It's not pound movement, that's definitely US dollar. Just dropped quite hard on that news. I've got 20 points profit on it, virtually 150, $200. Just waiting to see if we get that bullish engulfing in. If we do, I'm going to move to break even on this. So I'm just going to pop it up there. So I'm doing this virtually on here because I can't really show you my other charts on my other monitor. And it's not sized the same as here. I might be able to show you. Oh yeah, there we go. Can you see that? Yeah. So I'm just moving that up. This is running on a landscape monitor, a portrait monitor on to the right, to the left of me. I'm just going to move this up just in case we get a pop. I might as well take it if we do get a pop, but it's quite a big position size, so which is hence me being quite hovery with the button because that's $400 in profit now. So I'm just stopping out there. I'm watching this level like a hawk because if we get any, just got a lovely pop on the opening range high. Do you see that there on the DAX? There was a load of orders, so there was tons and tons and tons of pending orders sitting there, and it just spiked. So all these pendings got triggered. We're going to see a good push probably on the indices now. Getting the same across most of them. FTSE's pushing up as well. There's a 3-bar reversal going on the FTSE. Dow is struggling though still. It's done its movement, the Dow. It's struggling with this double top. Okay, approaching 14,800. Pound US dollar is screaming up. Again, strong New Zealand and Aussie coming through. Coming just up to the 14,800 level. Just taking half that position off. So basically just banked $230. I've got 200 riding. So I'm going to let this run with a break-even stop. Going for high of day basically. So target is 14,835. There. Okay, so there's a perfect tap straight into 14,800, the psych level. So there'll be a load of limit orders sitting there, ready to trigger. Depends whether or not we've got more sellers than we've got more limit orders as to whether or not we get through that level. He's trying to... Oh, you said that already. GA not so much. Stalled here. Yeah. Jeez. We got it's a strong Aussie and New Zealand again. But again, it's temporary. The good thing is it's temporary now. We're getting these pushes with the pound, with the Aussie and the New Zealand, but they're not sustained strength. We're getting pullbacks on them, which is good news. There is weakness showing on these things. But yeah, like I said, if we can hold that accumulation, we've got a very, very good chance of getting a lovely move on Sunday. Monday. We're coming straight off that 14,800 at the minute. Didn't manage to get through. So that's basically all the limit orders getting triggered. Algorithmic. So the algorithms work off of, probably heard the term limit market. The algorithms tend to work off of limit orders. So as price pushes, they will have very large limit orders sitting, which trigger, which basically is where you see the absorption. Is boing, 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 boing like that on a 1 minute chart. Is all the buy orders getting absorbed by these massive limit orders, which means when that happens, the buyers tend to give up and exit their positions, and then they become sellers, which starts a selling frenzy, which means that all these limit orders that the institutions put in become profitable. Then they will take off their limit orders and wait for the market to push up again. Then they'll have another set of limit orders set, ready to trigger. And again, you'll see absorption. That's why I keep talking about there's a lot of absorption going on. If that's going on, it's usually a sign that you are going to give up. The buyers will just give up because they can't get any higher. They're seeing the sellers stepping in. They hit the sell button, it starts a frenzy of selling. That's when your pullback starts. And then we look for new buy stops to push up, or buy limits rather, to push up. Couldn't break out the highs. Again, accumulation, drop, sellers defending their positions. Not going anywhere today. This is rotation day. This is just going to be range bound, I reckon, today. Dow is moving down very nicely off of a double top. Good place for a buy stop. German Finance Minister Linda, I advise energy suppliers not to pay for Russian gas in rubles. If Russians say you have to pay in rubles, what are you going to do? Not pay your bills? Oops, that's a default. Do you really want to be upset in Russia at the minute? It's right for people to say things when they're not involved, isn't it? It's like the kid in the playground egging someone else on to have a fight. And then as soon as the fight starts, running the other direction. US pending home sales have just come out. Lower than expected. So this is an IRB entry that I'm potentially taking here. Very nice angle on the moving average. Would like it to pull back a little bit more, ideally. But if we are going to strong trend, that's a good little entry there. NAS is pushing up still. Just adjusting my stop. We've broken through that level, so we're off to the highs by the looks of things. Just triggered on that Dow. The spread's too wide. Should have really had that a little bit higher. We've got a way bigger spread. If you look at, we get a 1 point spread. I'm trading the DAX. We get a 2.5 to 3 point spread, sometimes 4 on that. So I've basically just triggered an order off of triple top. That's not good. Closing out the Nasdaq, we've just broken back down below that level. Got 1 minute to go, but we're rejecting this level by the looks of things at the minute. So I think we're probably still going to come up for these highs, but we're probably going to pull back. There's no point in getting stopped out there. I just banked another $170 or something. So that was a stupid entry. I'm just reducing risk on this. That's a triple top. That's one of the reasons I have that in this in here. Your offset, yeah. So when you're placing pending orders, if you obviously we know the market moves to the pip a lot of the time. When it's when you're looking at price action on smaller time frames, we will move to the pip, and that's a prime example what we've just got there, a double top to the pip. So when you're placing your entries, the market will quite often take it out by a pip or two. Yeah, so there's a double top. That one there took it out by one pip, basically 1 point. So you want to set your entry at least a point above the high, so that when we do double top, you don't get triggered on your orders. Yeah, but you need to take into account the spread. And on the reason I like Forex for indices is they have a fixed spread on the DAX, and they have a very tight spread on the Dow and the other indices. But the spread is way wider here, so it really needs to be 0.4 points or 3 points on this. So when I place a pending order, still put it up there. Yeah. See that spread there is bigger, so you won't get gathered up necessarily when you hit a double top, as I did there, and that will cost you. Really needs to be a bit more than that, 40. It's usually somewhere around a 15. Somewhere between sort of 15 to 30 on the DAX, on the Dow rather, but it sort of flicks up to 40, so we'll see. But yeah, so I've just longed at triple top resistance. That's not a good idea, is it? Can you talk about why the Dow is long here and not short? Looks like it's run out of steam. There's resistance from a wick back at February the 17th. May well be. I mean, I don't really... Only looking back that far because... that is the next sort of levels, February 17th. I mean, this level here, that level there, really, I would say is the high, the last high. It could double top off of that, or that. I don't know. The reason I'm taking a long up here, we can go back to the chart, is because of the strength of this move and the fact that we've just broken psychological levels on the NAS, and the DAX is pushing like a crazy beast. So the indices are all just pushing long. And that's what the IRB is for. It doesn't need to pull back to go long. Think about what a flag is, yeah? Here's a good example of an IRB, yeah? We pushed up, we flagged, and we continued. Yeah, we pushed up, accumulated, flagged, whatever you want to call it. We went range bound, and then we broke up to the next leg. We pushed up, accumulate, next leg. But I wanted to get in when we broke this level. I had my entry too tight. So there's two types of entries. It's the same as when we look at the 24 and the 72 moving averages. I'm going to get stopped out on this. I've got this low that may help me, but it was a silly entry that was. There's two types of entries. Remember, we have with the moving averages, price pushes up and then pulls back and bounces off the moving averages, or price pushes up and accumulates and waits for the moving average to catch price and then pushes up. Yeah, and that's what you class as an accumulation or a flag. Some people the flag has to be backwards. For me, a flag is that or that. It's just an accumulation of price after a push. Yeah, so a flag will be this is a flag. Didn't really play out there. Let me find an example. So it's not really any good examples. We need a strong trend. Let's go back to Wednesday. So we push down hard, we accumulate. The moving average catches up, pushes down for the next leg. Yeah, that is the other example where we pull back into the moving average and then bounce out. Yeah. So that's what I'm playing is strong push, accumulation, breakout. It's a scalp move. It's not for many pips at all. I'll be looking for something like that. Just a 1-to-1 risk reward, quick entry, because it's extended. We're just double topping on the DAX. But I shouldn't be in that because, as I said, I should have waited for the break. We didn't get it, which is stupid, my mistake. But what I'm looking, what we're waiting for is, maybe another 10, 15 minutes of that, and then next leg pop. First leg, second leg, third leg. And again, put my stop tick below the low. Didn't get taken out. And that's what I mean. Remember, that's what I was saying about price will often come down and take out that level by one tick. So it's his price discovery. Let's push down and see if there are still buyers there. Yep, there's still buyers there. Let's try again. Yep, there's still buyers there. This level's getting bought up, which is why you see price moving to the pip, like testing by 1 pip. It's just algorithms at play. Afternoon, Neo. You're late. We're about to shut. So I'm up to 51,071 on my evaluation. Not bad day's work. Step 2. $98 lots today. 16 trades. 1,071 banked. So I'm nearly halfway. Not going to trade it anymore today. I've got 4. I've got to do 5 days again. But good. That'll be nice. So hopefully by end of next week, we'll have 50k to play with. I can start trading that account in here as well then. Instead of, actually, I'll probably not. I'll just trade that account. There you go. Stopped out on that position. I'm having to manually trade that as well because they, you are allowed to use EAs on my Forex funds, but they want you to submit the EA for evaluation. But you are allowed to use copy traders. So what I'm probably going to do is trade off of this account, and then I'm going to copy this account over to my Forex funds. So I can, because they're not going to like this. Well, they might do. I don't know. I might send it over and say this is what I'm using. But they're a bit strict with their rules over there. If you're found to be copying anybody in any way, shape, or form when you trade, they don't like it. They've just basically refunded, I think it was 130 odd people, 180 people. So there's this bloke called Axel. I don't know if anybody's heard of him. He's one of these companies that will pass your evaluation for you. There's loads of these companies cropping up, basically. So they will pass your evaluation. So they basically will just go crazy and overtrade your account until they pass it, and they'll charge you to do that. And then you obviously take over the account, which is pointless, because if you can't pass the evaluation, why are you paying someone else to do it for you? What are you going to do when you get that live account? You're going to blow it immediately. Of course you are, because you can't trade. If you could trade, you'd have passed the evaluation, wouldn't you? It's just nuts. But anyway, people buy these services to pass these evaluations. There's this guy called Axel on YouTube, and I looked him up. And he basically you give him some money and he will pass your evaluation. My Forex funds found out about it, and they have basically said to all the people that because they can identify, because he's using the same EA to pass all these evaluations. Of course, all these accounts are all getting exactly the same entries and exits, stops and take profits. So yeah, basically he's they're refunding, but nicely they're going to refund these 180 people that are following this bloke, and this bloke is trying to pass their things for them. So you've got to be very careful. My Forex funds I'm very impressed with them so far. It's the first time I've ever tried to trade with them. They've just said as well, we had a slight issue with the US 30 freezing for 7 minutes between 5 and 5:15, which you can see here. Just had that happen to be. Actually, it happened on the FTSE as well, so it wasn't just the US 30. I'm just reading on their Discord. So they're very, very upfront and very straight with people, which is good. And they've just paid out something like 1.2 million last week, verified. So there's a lot of people trading with them. At the moment, there's 1,752 people on evaluation phase 2, including me. And they got 1,500 funded traders. So a lot of people. Is this evaluation for prop firm? Yes. Sorry, Bruno, was just in your question. What I've been talking about for the last 5 minutes. Yeah. My Forex funds. And as I mentioned yesterday, if you weren't in here yesterday and you were following me when I was getting funded with Elite, that account's gone, basically. And they were unable to pay anybody or take payments for evaluations. And they obviously screwed my account up and shut my account down when I emailed them and pointed out the fact that they shouldn't have, because I didn't break any rules. They went, oh yeah, sorry, but we're not giving you back the $625 that we took off of you when we closed your open positions. Start again. So won't be using them. If you want to trade futures, use Apex. Diamond still down for the day, unfortunately. Yeah, I am now. Now I took that stupid trade. That was only a 0.3 though, so I'm 0.5 down, 0.5%. I'm still watching. Look, if basically I've flipped bias long. Now we have just double topped on the DAX, but I'm going to leave the DAX now and concentrate on the Dow and the NAS. And see if I can get a break above that high. As I said, we're probably going to go into probably an accumulation or a flag or a bit of a pullback. But I think we've got another leg potentially in us today. Whoops, wrong one. On the Dow. But we've gone a long way. And the NAS as well. We've gone a long way today. A lot further than I was expecting to the upside. So I was looking for a bounce up there and we didn't get it. We've broken highs. So I don't know. What's everybody think? I'm staggered that we've actually broken this high. Here's a good example, Diamond, of what I was just talking about. Yeah, strong push up, accumulation, break of the high. Yeah. So this is the breakout long, next leg up. So we're getting a push, accumulation, push, rather than a push, pullback, push. Slightly different play. But what you are normally looking for in that case is you're looking for some kind of inventory retracement bar, IRB, which is basically pushing, and then it's showing signs of accumulation. That was the play with the IRBs. So you want a strong moving average, and the recommended moving average angle is 45 degrees or higher. There's one there, look. Another one there, look. Strong accumulation. Strong accumulation. Push. Yeah, the moving average is catching up with price rather than price pulling back to the moving average. Yeah, and there's your IRB. Perfect one there on the DAX on M5. Look. There's your IRB. Yeah, that candle there. Big strong close candle followed by an accumulation with an IRB, which is a push up and then a retracement. Entry above there. Next leg. Rather than what we would normally look for is that. Flag. Or however you want to measure your flags, you know, everybody. It's another thing that annoys me about flags. People are like, oh no, the angle of the flag's not right. That's not a flag. Well, it is a flag. Just because it's really windy doesn't mean it's not a flag. You only like flags that are in a slight breeze, do you? Basically, it's just a push. Something we're not pushing at, then another push. GA is doing okay. What was the $600 loss? So basically, I took... I'll find you the account. I took one of these evaluations with Elite. Called a static. And we have a $625 drawdown. That's it. So they start you off with your account, which is 100k. And you cannot go 625 down from that. So you cannot go below 99,000 to... No, hang on. God, maths. Come on, Lee. Jesus Christ. Minus $625. You cannot go below 99,375. right? And you have to hit 2,000. So if it go whatever I do above that level, yeah, I can't hit that. What happened was I basically took the account up to 101,000 something. I wasn't at the target, but I was up there. It drew down by $625. They closed all my positions and shut the account. And I said to them, hang on, all this 625 max drawdown, maximum drawdown, no trailing drawdowns, static minimum balance. And they went, oh yeah, sorry, we accidentally had you on the wrong account. So I said, oh, that's no problem, brilliant. They reactivated the account, but they took that $625 away from me. So my account went from 101,000 and something down to something like 100,500 and something. So, of course, the next day I went, screw you lot. I went for it and blew it because I over-leveraged, because I was hacked off with them, because they can't even run their own company by their own rules. What chance do I stand when they actually fund me with $100,000 of real money? Just run a mile. If they can't run their own evaluations, they can't run a prop firm, as far as I'm concerned. There's plenty of other people out there that can. So I'm not using them, basically. You're thinking about getting a prop firm, Bruno? Let's have a quick look at GA while we're talking. I'm just trying to nurse people in this one, because I really, really, really want this to hit this high today. I feel for people when they're in drawdown and aggressive positions, because I've been there. I really want this to hit. A few wicks at the minute. Might get a little bit of a pullback. I'm thinking about getting a prop firm. If my method keeps working, I'll just need more capital. 22% positive this month so far. Awesome. What's your drawdown though? That's the thing you got to be, not drawdown in total, but your trailing drawdown. The vast majority of prop firms have a trailing drawdown. So my Forex funds included. Yeah, the one that I'm on at the moment. There is a trailing drawdown. $2,500. So you've got to hold. You cannot. So you basically, if I get to $2,000, if I have one of those days and it all goes wrong, if I get to $2,000, I shut the terminal. Because if you hit that, you're stuffed. When you get there, though, to 50k, so when you get to 50,252, oh God, maths today. What is wrong with me? Trade for a living, fuck's sake. Sorry, excuse my language. When I get to 52,500, yeah, that's locked in. So when I take this account to 59,800, for example, I have now got $9,800 of drawdown available to me. But in your evaluation, you cannot go below that, and that trails you every single day of the week. So you'll see this figure on Monday will be 48,571.92. Yeah. So on Monday, I cannot go below 48,571.92. And then the next day, if I get my account up to 2,000, I won't be able to go below 49,500. That's what you got to watch for. It doesn't matter how good you are at making profit. If you have, I can go long now, 50 contracts, 50 lots on the DAX and move 20 pips, tick, done. Thank you very much. Anyone can do that and be lucky. I've got a 50-50 chance when I hit that button of it going up or down, haven't I? But what will happen is if it goes down, I'm out. That's it. Just done in general. So you just got to be very careful. If you've achieved your profit of 22% for the month, with proper, decent risk management, you'll be fine. And if you have, let me know how you've done it, because that's a really good result. You're obviously more aggressive than I am. Right, DAX is coming down quite hard. That might be higher day. We're just retesting again. Right. Okay, so maybe we're not long. Jesus, that's really popped. Okay, so I'm probably actually now looking at this, going to look for short opportunities. This is either the mother of all pullbacks, or we're flipping short, which is what I was anticipating all day, and obviously took the first hour and a half to put the opening range high in. Now we're off the top, so this looks much more like we are going to short today. So we could go green to red. The speed this thing's coming down. We already are on the Nasdaq. So we're green to red on the Nas. We're going green to red on the S&P. We're back to a doji. Do you see what I mean about this? When I talk about this elevator shaft move that I'm expecting on the yen, this is the sort of thing that I'm talking about. We climb up the stairs, we fall down the elevator shaft. We undo in 15 minutes the entire session of an hour and a half. Same with these yens. We've been grinding for a week. In a day, we will just go boom, boom, back to square one. This is the sort of move that I'm expecting to come through on these yen pairs in some point very, very soon. So looking like we're going green to red. So pullback shorts. Pending orders underneath the lows. So if we get a double bottom bounce here and we start to grind up, pending orders under the lows, sell stops and sell stop lasts. Waiting for to get gathered short. That's a big correction, that. Still pushing. Something just happened. Let's have a quick look at the news. Nope. Uh, 40.52. That was ages ago. Right, I'm not going to trade the other account. I'm going to try and get another entry on this. It's going to be pretty tricky to get in, I think, on this one. I don't get it. How do I calculate the trailing drawdown? It's from your high of day, basically. So there's lots of videos that explain it, but basically it's taken from your with my Forex funds, it's taken from your opening balance. So at the day's open, whatever your balance is and your drawdown max is like 2,500 in my case. That is how the calculation is done. So the next day, on Monday, my balance is now 51,000 and something. So I will still have a 2,500 drawdown. So you just have to take off the max drawdown off of whatever your balance is this morning. It's really collapsing. Missed that. Bearish engulfing at resistance. I was talking. Should have taken that. That's because we were talking about looking for that long break that I took. So yeah, basically that's how it's calculated. But if you've got any prop firm worth half their value, whatever, any decent prop firm, this is going to be shown to you in the back end. Yeah. So you see my equity now is there. So you just need to add that onto that. That will be Monday. I can't go below whatever that plus that is on Monday. But some prop firms as well have this little thing like FTMO, where it will take your maximum equity for the day. So let's say, for example, I make $1,000 today, and I've got $1,000 drawdown as my maximum daily drawdown. It will trail what the profit is. So if I make 1,000 and then lose 1,000, as far as I'm concerned, I'm break even. As far as they're concerned, I've broken a rule. You've got to be very, very careful. You've got to read these rules very, very, very closely. They're all different. Some of them, that maximum stop out will be basically trailing whatever you do. So if you turn a 50k account into a 100k account, yeah, and then you accidentally draw down by 2.5k, unlucky, you lost a lot. So you want to pick one that has a static drawdown which stops at your entry balance. So if I go up to 100k, yeah, I got 100k, I got 50k to play with. I can still only lose 2.5 a day though. They're still saying, you know, if you're having a bad day, stop, which is good. You should do, because it will force you to overtrade. If you get down to 2,500 loss after making 50k, you'll be like, lost 5% of my account. What I'm going to do is double my contract size because I've got 45 grand's worth of profit to play with. No, you stop. Take a step back. It's going wrong today. Stop trading. So any good prop firm will have all that mechanics in place. But you've got to be careful. You know, if you lose the account, you're back to square one. Some prop firms will pay you out your profit. Some prop firms will go, no, actually, I'm not going to. So, yeah, be careful. Read the rules, basically. If they've got forums, go to those forums and read and talk to people in the forums. Discord, My Forex Funds has got a really good Discord channel. You can ask any question you like in there, and people will help you. A lot of people will flame you and go, read the rules, and send you off in other directions, which is fair enough, because you should be doing your own work. But if you want to ask a question, start it with, I've read the rules at so-and-so, I'm still not clear on X, can you please explain it? And someone will probably explain it to you. Right. It was after I began watching you. That's good. I'm glad you're making profit because you've been watching me. Do as I say, not as I do. Never been more true. Look at today and yesterday. But then Monday or Tuesday, I'll have a 5 or 6% day. You know, it's just swings and roundabouts. So you have to take the losses with the winners when you're scalping. When you're position trading, though, it's a totally different game. But unfortunately, at the minute, it ain't working because the market is broke. We're still holding pound odd. CAD yen still holding at the highs as well, which is good. So we're just retesting. We're just about to get a retest alert, potentially on this candle, on the CAD yen, and all these other yens looking good. So starting in it, it's all rolling over nicely. Right, I'm going to call it there, a day there. I'm not going to watch this all afternoon, but I'm going to look for pullback play on this now. So pending's under the lows, and I'm probably going to go with the 600 stop because we've got a big strong move here. So ideally, I'd like to see a decent pullback up into the moving averages and then short it out of there. Equally, we could just, like I said, do that and go. So that's the play this afternoon, assuming that we're going to come down short on the indices now. But if this is a horrible one of those horrible rotation days, you know, we could just go like that. Just be a bit careful. I'll try and get in fast and get out fast, to be honest, at the minute. Don't worry, I'm not copying what you're doing, just using the knowledge. You can't copy what I'm doing because the stream's delayed. So you're never going to get the entry I get. And if you were, I've got proof that I was the first one to do it because I've got it on stream. So you'll get banned and I won't. It doesn't work that way. They're looking for entries which are exact. They're looking for people that get in at exactly the same level, and they're looking for people that have got exactly the same stop loss and take profits within a few, within seconds, milliseconds. They're looking for people that are EA copying other people. Because what they don't want as a prop firm is, 10 people with 100k accounts all taking the same trades, because their risk is not one person taking a 100k account. It's now $1 million worth of risk, isn't it? Yeah, if you've got 10 people taking exactly the same trades with a 100k account, you've actually got, every time that button is pressed, $1 million worth of leverage on the table. That's why they don't want people copying other people and taking the same trades, because their investors do not want 10 times the risk going down per trade. That's why that rule is there, and all the prop firms have got that rule. Yeah, they're not stupid. They know there's a load of copy programs out there. They know there's a load of signal services out there. They know there's a load of EAs which are all set up to do the same thing. Oil jumps due to missile strike in Saudi. On a refinery. Where did you see that? A bit of a spike there, but who's coordinating all this chaos? No idea. Jesus. Not going to be able to get a shot on this thing today. DAX is falling out of bed. I don't think we're going to get on it. Or the Dow. It's too hard to hit the button. I think watch this trend line. Really, a lot of people will be watching this trend line. It's very well respected. We'll probably get the bounce there. That's when we want to be looking to short it. Or long it from there if you want. I mean, if we get down there. On zero hedge. I don't follow zero hedge. Zero hedge normally comes into financial juice. Wonder who shot that missile. Oil jumps as massive fire engulfs Saudi Aramco facility in Jeddah. God. If it's not one thing, it's another, isn't it? Anywho. Biden administration are considering another oil release. No decision has been made, but more than 30 million barrels possible. Yemen's military spokesman, we are to announce details of a wide operation deep in Saudi Arabia. Oh my God. This war's kicking off everywhere. Like I said before, buy a boat, find a desert island, live off the land. The only way to survive the next year, I think. Just before the aliens invade us and then the meteorite hits. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. If you need anything, let me know. I will be in the Telegram group. I'm going to try and get a short in on this. I just got a feeling we might have missed this. I'm worried about a potential rotation. We could well just go into a downtrend and sell off for the whole afternoon after lunch in New York. But got to try and get into this. Can't get into it at the minute. Not going to take a short down here. Even if it collapses another 2 candles, there's much more chance of it doing a pullback, especially as we're just approaching this trend line. So I'm going to watch it down here, potentially look for a bounce. But other than that, I'm going to call it a day for this afternoon. I'll be back on Monday at 7:50, same time, ahead of the Frankfurt session. News-wise, over the weekend, nothing much to worry about. Nothing really to worry about at all. We've got daylight savings time shifts on Sunday, so the afternoon sessions will be going back to 2 o'clock. So the New York Open for us will obviously be 2:30 instead of 1:30 again. And then obviously next week is non-farm payroll. So good week next week. Nothing much on Monday, but we've got non-farm next week. So, all right. So have a good weekend, everybody. Good luck this afternoon if you're going to continue trading. Hopefully the Aussie dollars and the New Zealand dollars continue to crash. And the yen basically powers up like crazy. That's what we're looking for. And then Monday, a continuation of that would be very nice. So, all right, I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend and see you then.